we'll have a talk on Jainism in Sri Shailam by Rushab Bhandari ji, young enthusiastic researcher in the field of ancient and medieval Jaina history with special focus on southern part of Bharat. A chartered accountant by qualification, he aims at protection and restoration of ancient heritage. He regularly contributes articles in UCG approved journals, UGC, right? UGC approved journals like Arhat Vachan, Shramana and Anusandhan. Currently he is working on the last Sampradaya of Jainism. The Yapaniyas who were once very active in the socio-political history of Karnataka, Andhra region, he resides in Ranibennur town of Karnataka. Through my personal interaction, I came to know that he is a Jaina by family, but lost his mother tongue. He speaks in Kannada. I am also a bilingual. I speak in Telugu and Kannada both, so I was able to speak to him in Kannada. You have such a huge population of Kannada-speaking Jains in Karnataka. They have all completely settled down there. One of my friends recently gave his daughter in marriage to a Jain there from Telugu area. The bridegroom is a Kannada-speaking Jain there. And the person who was caught in Pakistan, you know, when there was a flight missing in Pakistan, when we went chasing the Pakistani attack on India, he was a Jain, but he was a Tamil-speaking Jain.
My paper is divided into two parts. My paper is Jain concept of Tirth and the significance of Shri Parvat, Sri Shailam in Jaina literature. So the first section deals with the concept of Tirth and its meaning. The concept of Tirth occupies special place in all Indian dharmic traditions. I prefer to use the word dharmic compared to religion because the fundamental basis for the usage of these terms is very different. I recently come across a book written by Rajiv Malhotra ji, Sanskrit non-translatables, in which he has discussed various Indian words which are actually, there are no synonymous in other languages. So appreciating that thing, the difference lies in the different origins of this term and the different meanings assigned to it, in accordance with the respective philosophical foundations. In general, in Indian context, the term Tirth is referred to a sacred place associated with one or more deity or an event associated with the deity and revered with devotion by the deity's followers. Sometimes some places are considered sacred from spiritualistic as well as ritualistic point of view due to their importance portrayed in ancient literature. With this context, it becomes important to explore the meaning of the term Tirth as used and as described in ancient Jain literature. Bhagavati Sutra is one of the main agam of the Jain philosophy. In this Bhagavati Sutra, we get a conversation between Bhagwan Mahavir and his disciple Ganadhar Gautam, wherein Ganadhar Gautam inquires about the meaning of the term Tirth. Answering his query, Bhagwan says, the term Tirth refers to fourfold congregation consisting of sadhus, sadhvis, shravaks and shravikas. This constitutes Tirth as per Bhagavati Sutra. In Bruhat Kalpa Bhashya, Tirth is defined to mean Shruta Jnana, meaning Shastras or the scriptural knowledge, or the Pravachana. Pravachana in Jain technical terminology is referred to the discourse of the Tirthankars, or the Dwadashanga, the 12 agamas. The whole of the teachings of the Bhagwan Mahavir is compiled in the form of 12 agamas. So, considering these two references, we get that the fourfold congregation, which is also referred to as Chaturvid Sangh in Hindi, that Chaturvid Sangh is Tirth. But nor merely the fourfold congregation is not a Tirth, but that one which follows the teachings of the Arhats and leads the life accordingly is referred to a living Tirth. So also we have the concept of Stavar Tirth and Jangam Tirth in Jainism. So the sadhus and sadhvis who follows the teachings are referred to as Jangam Tirth in Jainism. They are a living Tirth, to which we have to pay homage. And Stavar Tirth is referred to a particular place of historical importance as per Jainism. In Jain philosophy, emphasis is laid on understanding the multi-dimensional aspects of concepts and knowledge. This approach is understood as Nikshep in Jain technical terminology. In Vishesh Avashyak Bhashya, Acharya Jinabhadra Gani has explained the term Tirth by following this approach of Nikshepa. He has discussed the four Nikshepas, Dravya, Bhava, Stapna, and Nama. In present context, the author's explanation of Dravya Tirtha, Bhava Tirtha, and Stapna Tirtha merits consideration here. He explains the term Tirth when he is explaining the concept of Tirthankara, who is the chief deity who is worshipped in Jainism. The author begins with the general statement that Tirth is a medium as well as a mode for overcoming the insurmountable. Means जो तीर्थ जो है वह इस संसार समुद्र से पार करने का एक माध्यम है और उस तीर्थ के माध्यम से ही और तीर्थ में रहकर आप इस संसार समुद्र से पार हो सकते हैं. तो now the explaining the Dravya Tirtha, he says that that which is limited to cleansing the external impurities and whose result is single dimensional or has limitations is referred to as Dravya Tirtha. For example, a river which can help you clean the external impurities. Bhava Tirtha is Sang or the Chaturudh Sang, consisting of the followers. In the discourse of the Tirthankaras, Sang is referred to as Tirtha, which serves as a medium for overcoming the insurmountable in this material life. Of this fourfold Sangha, Sadhu is the savior who is referred to as Tarak. The modes are Gyan, Darshan and Charitra, meaning knowledge, right philosophy and good conduct. And the insurmountable is the vast ocean of this material life, Sansar Samudra. मतलब ये जो संसार समुद्र है तो उसमें साधु तारक रूप में है और जो ज्ञान दर्शन चरित्र है ये उसके माध्यम है और जो पार पाना है वो ये संसार है. So this concept is collectively called as Bhava Tirtha. He further says that Gyan, Darshan and Charitra are the fundamental attributes of Sangha. Merely a fourfold congregation is not a Sangha, but that which has the attributes of good knowledge, conduct and right perspective are referred to as a Sangha. And this concept of Tirth is very wide. Acharya Yugbhushan Suriji has written 4 big volumes on the concept of Tirth in Jainism. So it is one of the very widest concept in Jain philosophy. So having explained Bhava Tirtha, as I told, the Sangh is referred to as Bhava Tirtha. Since Arhat are the ones who established this Bhava Tirtha, they are referred to as Tirthankara in Jain texts. With this idea of Dravya Tirtha and Bhava Tirtha, let's understand the concept of the Stapna Tirtha, which is the core idea behind establishment of these pilgrimage centers or tirths or temples or mandirs as they are popularly called. Understanding the meaning of Stapna Nikshep is the thing which is a copy, statue or a picture of the real thing or which is conventionally made to stand for this for a real thing. So that is called as Sthapna in Jain technical terminology. The idea behind establishment of this Sthapna Tirth is the necessity to symbolize the discourse of the Tirthankaras. Since the idea behind this to symbolize the discourse of the Tirthankara to ensure the perpetual succession of this concept of Bhava Tirtha among the larger audiences or the masses. Since Tirthankars and Siddhas are accorded the highest position in Jainism, the places associated with them were preferred for this establishment of temples or tirths or for this Stapna Tirths. For example, the Nirvan places of Tirthankars like Sameshikar, Pavapuri, these were preferred for establishing their shrines dedicated to Tirthankars. So the idea behind establishment is to symbolize the very concept or the very teachings of the Arhats. That's the summary of this short discussion. So in Jainism, we have various forms of Tirth, and there are different classification also. One of the standard classification is there are three classifications. One is the Kalyanak Tirths, which are associated with the lives of the Tirthankars, like their birth, the place of renunciation, or the place of their nirvana, etc. Example, Girnar in Gujarat, Rujwalika, where Bhagwan Mahavir attained his Keval Gyan in near Jharkhand. These are places called as Kalyanak Tirths. Then we have Siddha Kshetras. These are associated with the places of nirvanas of sadhus and sadhvis who have attained the Keval Jnana. As they are also equally revered along with the Tirthankaras, the places associated with them were also preferred for establishing the temples. And the third category is the miscellaneous categories. Some Tirths or the temples occupy special place in Jainism due to their historical background, artistic marvels, miracles, etc. These can be classified as Tirths because of their importance and reverence by the community, as they serve as the popular mode of symbolism of Bhavatirtha. The idea behind the entire concept of temples is to immortalize the concept of Bhavatirtha, which is the core idea of Jainism. Then relating to this is the antiquity of image worship in Jainism. Because shrines are erected, not plain shrines are erected, statues of Tirthankars are installed. Acceptability of image worship is undisputed in Jain literature. It's only in 6th CE some sects emerged disputing idol worship under the influence of iconoclastic religions. Dr. Yupisha in his magnum opus, Jaina Rupa Mandana, has dealt with this topic in depth and suggested that idol worship did prevail in Shramana tradition even during Bhagwan Mahavir's times. This is further confirmed with the references found in the main canonical texts like Raj Prashniya Sutra, Bhagavati Sutra, Jambudip Pragnapti. We have the descriptions of how temples look even in Devloks. That's also described in Samvayanga Sutra, in Sthanang Sutra, in Jivabhigam Sutra, and there is one granth called Saravali Prakirnak. In this, the entire description of Shatrunjay, which is a Siddha Kshetra located in Gujarat, Palitana, is described. Narrative texts like Paumcharyam, which is what I believe is the second earliest book or the text on the life of Rama, and Vasudev Hindi, which are compositions before 500 CE, have descriptions of image worship, erection of temples, and so on. Avashyak Niryukti gives a very brief account of temple building activities. In Avashyak Niryukti, under the Chauvisatto Niryukti, it is stated that Bhagwan Kuntuna's mother had dreamt a very beautiful stupa in her dream on a very barren land. Since barren land is referred to as Kubhumi in Hindi. So Kubhu in Prakrit. So उन्होंने भगवान कुंतुनाथ की माता ने अपने सपनों में एक कुभूमि मतलब बंजर भूमि पर एक विशाल दिव्य स्तूप के दर्शन किए थे, इसलिए अपने पुत्र का नाम भी उन्होंने कुंतुनाथ रखा था. इस प्रकार का वर्णन such a description is given in Avashyak Niryukti, which is composed by Shruti Kevali Bhadra Bhav Swami. Dr. Bibilal had discovered a terracotta image of Tirthankara in his 1976 Ayodhya excavation in the Hanumangadi region, which is adjacent to the Ram Janmabhoomi place. Excavations in Mathura and Vaddamanu in Andhra Pradesh have revealed many artifacts of Jain stupas and inscriptions which are dated before Christ. Kharwel's inscription of again 1st century BC is another historical account of prevalence of idol worship during the Nandas in Bihar and in the entire Magad region. There is a popular narrative of Jivit Swami Pratima found in the commentaries of Jain canonical texts. I am not going into detail of this narrative because it's a very big narrative, and there is even today Jivit Swami refers to the idol which was refers to idol of Bhagwan Mahavir, which was consecrated during his lifetime by his disciples. Such an idol was worshipped by the by the king of Vidvaya Pattan. There is a clear reference to that. जी जी मुनि जी. तो जैन आगमिक व्याख्या साहित्य में भगवान महावीर के जीवन काल में बनी हुई प्रतिमा का वर्णन मिलता है और उसका पूजन अर्चन विद्भयपुर पट्टन के राजा उदयन द्वारा किया जाता था और उस प्रतिमा की चोरी आदि एक बहुत बड़ा विस्तृत पूरा एक वर्णन हमको जैन साहित्य में मिलता है। अब मैं पूरे इसमें नहीं जा रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेन टॉपिक में समय कम पड़ जाएगा। तो सो दिस इज सफिशिएंट इनफ to showcase that idol worship has a very deep root in Jain philosophy. Yes, sir. Even today, there are replicas of that original Jeevish Swami Pratimas. You can find such idols in ocean near Jaipur. Now they are shifted to Jodhpur museums. There are such replicas. जो मूल जो प्रतिमा जी थी उनकी अनेक प्रतिकृतियां हमको ओसिया जी में बाद में आपको यहाँ पे सिरोही के जिनालय में आपको मिलेंगे। इन वडोदरा देयर इज एन एरिया कॉल्ड अकोटा वेयर सच आइडल्स बिलोंगिंग टू 6th century replicas of the original Jeevish Swami idols were found. There is a record of a temple in Ujjain which was known as the Jivant Swami temple and was visited by Acharya Suhasti Suri, who was the preceptor of the Mauryan king Samprati. Even in South India, some jinales are accorded the status of Patta Jinas since the very early times by the ruling dynasty, since the times of early Gangas and Kadambas, and this continued till the period of Chalukyas of Kalyan. These are some of the illustration. ये कुछ उदाहरण हैं जो जैन परंपरा में प्रतिमा पूजन विग्रह पूजन की प्राचीनता को दर्शाते हैं। इसी के साथ हम मेरे पेपर के सेकंड पार्ट पे मैं आना चाहूंगा, which is regarding Shri Parvat Tirth. So this Shri Parvat Tirth, also known as Sri Shailam Tirth, is located in the Kurnool district of Andhra Pradesh. Regarding antiquity of Jainism in Andhra Pradesh, its antiquity is confirmed by the important commentaries on Cheda Sutras of Jain canonical literature and archaeological excavations conducted in the Krishna Valley region in Andhra Pradesh. The literary references to Shri Parvat range from 1st century CE till 14th century CE. These are presented here to showcase the importance it had for Jains since an early period. In the last, I have discussed an inscription of 16th century AD relating to the Shwetambar sect of Jainism found in the Mallikarjun temple at Shri Shailam. See, for understanding the various historical perspective, archaeology is necessarily a very important medium. प्राचीन इतिहास को समझने के लिए पुरातत्विक सामग्री या पुरातत्विक तौर तरीकों का बहुत महत्व है, पर उतना ही महत्व ग्रंथों का भी है, क्योंकि आपको जिन स्थानों का वर्णन आपको ग्रंथों में मिल रहा है, जरूरी नहीं है कि हर स्थानों पर आप खुदाई करवा सकते हो और वहां से आपको कुछ ना कुछ मिलेगा, क्योंकि जो मटेरियल कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटीज है वो समय के साथ उनमें चेंजेस हुआ है। कभी ब्रिक्स यूज हुआ करती थी, कई क्षेत्रों में काष्ट का मतलब वुड वाज यूज्ड. So it's very difficult to get archaeological evidence in every region and belonging to every period of time. Coming to the literary evidence, the earliest reference, सबसे प्राचीन रेफरेंस श्री पर्वत का हमको जैन रामायण में मिलता है, जिसका नाम पहुमचर्यम है. It's a text in Prakrit where it's associated, this place is associated with Hanuman, and it is said that Hanuman ruled this area, Shri Parvat, and the people of Shri Parvat joined with the Rama, who is referred to as Padma in Jain literature, and they fought with the Ravan. This is one of the earliest literary work in Jain literature on the life referring to Shri Parvat. Then in Vasudev Hindi, which is a 4th century composition, there are two references to Shri Parvata. A woman visits Shri Parvata for paying her homage at the monks. वसुदेव हिंदी में ऐसा बताया गया है कि श्री पर्वत पर अनेक मुनिजन विहार कर रहे थे, उनकी वंदना के लिए अनेक लोग गए थे, और वहां से प्रेरणा हो के एक महिला ने धर्मचक्र तीर्थ तप का पचिकान लेके उस तप की आचरणा की थी. सो अगेन वी हैव दिस एसोसिएशन विद द मॉन्क्स हु यूज्ड टू स्टे एट श्री पर्वत. Varang Charitra is again another important text in which it is said that Shri Muni performed a rigorous penance of 1000 years. श्री मुनि ने 1000 वर्ष का तपश्चर्या वारंग श्री पर्वत पर किया था, ऐसा मिलता है. In Chaupan Mahapurushcharyam, it is said that the sons of Sagar during their excursion met a Jain monk on Shri Parvat who on the request narrate the reason of his renunciation, which includes the narration of his previous verse. At the end of the narrative, we are told that Muni Rushab Sen had attained Keval Gyan and Siddha Gati on this Shri Parvat. And as a result, Shri Parvat is also known as Siddha Vada in various texts. Through this narrative, Shri Parvat is portrayed as a Siddha Kshetra where Shramana monks practice their religious austerities. In Harivansh Puran, there is very important comparison. The author compares his entire work. हरिवंश पुराण के कर्ता अपने संपूर्ण ग्रंथ को श्री पर्वत तुल्य है ऐसा बताते हैं. दिस सिग्निफाइज द इम्पोर्टेंस श्री पर्वत हैड फॉर जैन्स. इन त्रिषष्टिशला का पुरुषचर्यम श्री पर्वत द ब्यूटी ऑफ श्री पर्वत इज कंपेयर्ड टू मेरू. In Akhyanak Mani Kosh we have similar references. Then we have references Katharayana Kosh. In Vividutirikalp there is a reference to the temple which existed on Shri Parvat dedicated to Bhagwan Mallinath. In Dharmamrit, Kannada Champu work composed in 1112 AD by Muni Nayasen. In this there is a narrative how this Shri Parvat got its name. Previously here it is told that it was known as Rishi Nivas. And due to the penance of Sridhara Muni, this place got its name after him as Shri Parvat. And even today, a part of Andhra Pradesh is known as Munda Nadu or Munda Rashtra. Because as we know that Jain monks, उनका मतलब मुंडन होता है समय समय पर. तो क्योंकि उस क्षेत्र में अनेक जगहों पे उनका विहार आदि होता था, उसके कारण मुंडा राष्ट्र ऐसा भी स्थान का नाम मिलता है. And other later references include in Vajjalagam by Muni Jayavallabh and also in Mahavir Charyam where we have similar references to such portraying it as a Siddha Kshetra. Then in Sri Shailam we have an epigraph at the Mallikarjuna temple where a Veerashaiva chief named Linga, it's an inscription of his dated 1512 AD in which there is a reference that he took pride in cutting the heads of the Shwetambar Jains. It's written in that epigraph. But the next point is important. Though this piece of information is meager, it's full of significance as it portrays the existence of Jainism in Andhra country since a very earlier period. Now, one of the next point that I have to make that in Velugotvari Vanshavali, we have some further information about this Veerashaiva chief. Here we are told that Ganitima, who was a subordinate of Krishna Deva Raya of Vijayanagara dynasty, he had ordered his general to remove Santalinga, who was engaged in the persecution of Jains from Sri Shaila, and he had obeyed that order, and this is on record that he was removed from Sri Shailam. So this, especially the violence against the Jains on Sri Shaila might have led Krishna Deva Raya to initiate action against this preceptor, and Timma, who was commissioned to curb his activities, loyally executed the royal analysis. The above reference in the Jain literature indicates that Shri Parvat had a very significant place in Jaina history. Especially late, it was considered Siddha Kshetra. Siddha Kshetra is one of the category. तीर्थों के अनेक वर्गीकरण में जैसे कि मैंने कहा सिद्ध क्षेत्र भी एक वर्गीकरण है. जैसे पालितना है, फिर पावागढ़ है गुजरात में, महाराष्ट्र में मांगी तुंगी है, राजगृही है. ये सब जैन परंपरा में सिद्ध क्षेत्र गिने जाते हैं. क्योंकि दक्षिण भारत के अनेक साहित्य आज हमें उपलब्ध नहीं है, पर ये विविध ग्रंथों में जो थोड़ा वर्णन मिलता है उससे हमको ये चीज पता चलती है कि श्री पर्वत भी आंध्र प्रदेश में एक बहुत ही प्रसिद्ध सिद्ध क्षेत्र था और वहां पर एक मंदिर भी था. ऐसा भी 14th सेंचुरी तक वहां पर मंदिर था, उसका भी रेफरेंस विविध तीर्थकल्प ग्रंथ में है. Currently no temple exists on these hills. Today this hill is famous for the Mallikarjuna Swami temple, which is counted among the 12 Jyotirlingas according to the Vedic tradition. Concluding, I strongly express the need for a systematical archaeological excavation in this area which can throw further light on connection of Jainism and Sri Sailam in particular and Andhra Pradesh in general. Another unimportant question remains regarding the people who were persecuted on this hill. What happened to them? Currently we don't have any source, but there are some Kaifiyas which were compiled by a colonel named Mackenzie based on the oral traditions. It's very vast. Analyzing them can provide us with some further information which can lead to a better conclusion. So there is a strong need to understand things through different angles. Though there is a reference to the persecution of Jains, it also might be an exaggeration and it not might have happened. It might be mentioned to express the superiority of one faith over the other. Such references are very common among various traditions, not only between Jainism, Hinduism or Buddhism, but also within the various traditions under Hinduism. So to conclude, I would like to remember the Anand Ganji's Naminastavan, where he says that Shadadarshan jin ang banine, न्याय षडंग जो सादे रे षडदर्शन नमीजिन वरना चरण सेवक षडदर्शन आराधे means these the person who studies the Shadadarshans is also worshipping the 21st Tirthankar Naminath Bhagwan. So Jainism is very inclusive in its approach and not exclusive. And in this Tavan, he has compared various darshana, compared to the various different parts to the body of an Tirthankar. भगवान के अलग अलग दर्शन को भगवान के अलग अलग अंग बताया गया है. तो जैसे योग सांख्य को भगवान के जांग के रूप में बताया गया है, किसी दर्शन को भगवान के कंधे के स्वरूप बताया गया है, और जैन दर्शन को भगवान का उत्तम अंग मतलब मस्तक के रूप में बताया गया है. सो दिस शोज द इंक्लूसिव, जो जैन परंपरा का एक इंक्लूसिव नेचर है. और एक्सक्लूसिव मतलब बाहरीकरण करना नहीं, पर सब एक चीज में बांध के रख के वो करते हुए भी अपनी इंडिविजुअल आइडेंटिटी बरकरार रखना, ये इन सब चीजों से मालूम पड़ता है. इंडिका ने एक जो इतना अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म दिया उसके लिए मैं बहुत ही धन्यवाद. थैंक यू सर.
Thank you. So, applaud our young scholar. Give him a big hand. Wonderful research. He has given so many references, so many concepts he has covered wonderfully. So, if you have any questions, please. Oh, so you have received blessings from Munishri ji. So that is the best award. You have received the award from Muniji.